Hi, I'm Paul, and I am the lead research technician here at the How to Linux Research Labs. Today's video is titled How to Install Ruby on Rails on Rocky Linux 9. You can also apply this to other Red Hat CentOS-based distros as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, for my POP installation machine, I'm going to remote desktop into my Fedora installation on another machine via the No Machine remote desktop program, which is right here. Okay, so here's my Rocky installation. Here's my neofetch. As you can clearly see, it's Rocky 9, okay? And it's on Xface. Okay, so there's only two things that are really important here would be Rocky and the kernel 5.154, a little behind, and it's on Xface. Okay, so we're good here. Okay, so what is Ruby on Rails, you ask? Okay, very quickly, Ruby on Rails, commonly known as Rails, is an open source web application framework written in Ruby. Okay, so you can write Ruby-based projects with it. Now we're not going to get into the other part of Ruby, which would be Gems, which is their package manager. But for now, we're just going to install Ruby on Rails, the framework. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is install Rails Prerequisites. Okay, so Ruby 3.0 is available in the standard Yum repositories of Rocky Linux 9. So therefore, we can easily install it by using the DNF command. Okay, so we're on Rocky here, and we're going to be working in the terminal, and I can clear neofetch out. Okay, and we're going to start installing the needed prerequisite packages, the dependent. I'm not sure if you call them dependencies or they're just core packages, but these are the necessary programs that we're going to have to, I guess you just call it the prerequisites for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start installing what we have to install here. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to use Yum or not, but we're just going to use DNF. Okay. So, sudo, just your basic sudo DNF install syntax with the Y flag. This should install the Ruby runtime interpreter there. And then we're going to install this other package, Ruby-developer. Okay. So once we've keyed in those two packages, check the syntax, looks good. Go ahead and enter on that. And we get a lot of... Actually, the reason why it started... I was actually going to linger over that for a moment, but I had the Y flag in there, so it went directly into downloading and installing. I didn't have a chance to linger over it. If you want to linger over things, just take out the Y flag. I figured that's what was going to happen. Just didn't think about I was going to linger over some of these packages that it was going to install or download and install. So I put the Y flag in there, and it just went right to it. Okay, that's fine. Just keep in mind that this Y flag here just means that you're saying yes to everything rather than step by step, having to choose Y or N for yes or no on every screen. So you have the Y flag in there; it just does everything automatically for you. Okay, that looked like everything went through there. Okay, so after successful installation of those prerequisite packages, we're going to check the version of Ruby with the following command: Ruby dash version. Dash version. Okay. Okay, so we back that out. Check the... we're going to check and let's say, I'm not sure. I think they're up to like 3 something. I know they're at least at 3. I'm not sure if they're 3 point something or another. But if we get 3, then I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, that's fine. We're definitely pretty close to the most current version there. 3.0. That's good enough. Okay, so we've installed the Ruby runtime. It's not compiled. Ruby is interpreted. So this is the runtime interpreter here. So you would pass a .rb file, a source code file to Ruby, and it would run the code. Okay, so Ruby on Rails does require the SQLite database support, so we can install it on any available version of SQLite from the standard DNF repositories. Okay, so we'll clear on this, and we'll go right into installing SQLite then. Actually, I could reuse the same command here. Just back everything out here. Sudo DNF install. We're not going to do the Y flag this time, so we can linger over it if we need to. Okay, so we're going to install the SQLite database program here. So we'll enter on that. See how it's saying yes here. When we had the Y flag, it just did it. It shows Y automatically. But it's good to not do that, I don't think. It's good to just kind of see what it's going to do. Kind of linger over things so you can see what it's going to install. And then the architecture, and the version, and some other information here. Okay, so it looks good there. So we'll Y and enter on that. And it downloads and installs. And it installed SQLite. Okay, good. And then we'll check the version of SQLite database that we just installed. SQLite 3 space -- version. Okay, good. SQLite has been installed. Okay, so the following prerequisites, or there's a couple more, are required by Ruby on Rails, and we can install these prereqs by using the DNF command as well. Okay, so we'll clear on that. And I can just go ahead and cycle back to my DNF here, back out the SQLite, and we're going to put the GCC compiler, and we're going to install Git. Let's see what's already installed here or not. Okay, looks like Git was not installed. Because Rocky's kind of bare bones server, so there wasn't much on here to begin with. And so you can see it's going to install Git and some Perl. And then we'll check everything once we're all done. So we're going to install Git and some other dependencies here. So wait for the download and for the install here. And then we'll check all the installations and everything. Okay, good. Everything's been downloaded and installed. All right. Now, I'll check Git. Let's see what version of Git we have on here now. Okay, I think that's pretty current. I've looked that up, but that looks pretty good. And then what else did we install? We installed GCC, right? For compiling C and C++ source code files. So we'll check the version on this. I know it's up to like 12 or 13. Yeah, Rocky's a little bit behind, as you would probably expect, because it's a server. So it's not going to have the newer versions like 12 or 13. 11. Okay, that's still a couple ticks behind, but that's still pretty good, I guess. Okay, so we have Git and GCC both installed. Okay. So once we've gotten some of the prerequisites out of the way, we can go ahead and install Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails can be installed as a Ruby gem. Now, gem is the package manager for Ruby. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use gem to install Rails. Okay, gem was already installed, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to update the gem database cache. So gem update, and it's going to update itself. And there's a lot of output here. Downloading, updating itself, and back when it's done updating. You can see here, and I've worked with Ruby before. I do believe this might take some time here, so we'll come back when it's all when everything's built and installed. Oh, there you go. I know I've done this before, and it took a while. So we'll back when it's done. Okay, so once we've updated all the installed gems, we can go ahead and use gem, the package manager for Ruby, to install the Rails framework. Okay, so that took a few minutes, not too long. You can see it. These are all the gems that were updated here, and everything looks like it's okay. So I can go ahead and clear on that, and then use gem to install Rails, Ruby on Rails. It's just called Rails actually for purposes of installation. So gem install Rails. Okay, so once we've keyed that in, we'll enter on that, and it's going to download and install Ruby on Rails. Now it does say it could take a while. I don't know how long that will take exactly, and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, so we use gem to install Rails, and looks like it installed 37 gems just for the Rails installation, but no errors, no faults. Okay, so we look good there. Okay, so we've installed so we've installed Rails, and we'll check the versions here in a moment. But at this point, you're ready to use Ruby on Rails to start a Ruby project. You know, in your IDE or code editor of choice, and with the ultimate goal, obviously, of creating a Ruby app. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the three main components here one more time. The core language here of Ruby, Ruby 3. Okay, good. And then gem, which is the Ruby package manager. Okay, 3.2.33, all right. And we'll check the Rails version as well. My guess is that they're about the same, I think. I think they're on the same level, if I remember correctly. Let's see what it's going to come out to. I think, actually, or it might be 6, I think. Let's see. Been a while since I worked with Rails. It might be 6-ish or something like that. Let's see what it is. Oh, 7. Okay, yeah. I think Java NPM and Java or one of the Node or something are usually on the same level. I forgot. Anyway, yeah. So you can see gem is on 3.2 and Rails 7. Yeah. Okay. So 3 and 7. Yeah, I remember I used to work with it. It was usually on 6 or whatever. So they're on 7 now. Okay, so these are the three main components that you want to have installed: Ruby, gem, and Rails. There's also other ways of doing Ruby as well. You can look that up and see what other ways there are. I know there's like a Ruby version manager and some other ways of installing Ruby. But either way, Ruby is installed here along with gem package manager and the Ruby on Rails framework. Okay, so that was how to install Ruby on Rails on Rocky Linux 9. And here's my Rocky desktop one more time. So yeah, you're ready to start firing up your IDE or editor and starting a Ruby project with Rails with the intention of creating a Ruby app. Okay, so that was how to install Ruby on Rails on Rocky Linux 9. I'm Paul, and I am the lead research technician here at the How to Linux Research Labs. And I thank you for watching and subscribing, and I look forward to your comments and your feedback. Thank you.